Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Andrew Tapopi, and you are welcome to the Identity Podcast. Now, before I start, I want to ask you a very, very, very simple question. Based on what you perceive, based on what you observe, what are the people defining you on? What are they saying about you? Are they defining your identity based on your family background? Are they defining your identity based on what they see now? Are they defining your identity based on your family, based on your parents, based on what? Based on your school? What are the people really defining you based? What are they really saying about you? So, as I said, my name is Andrew Tapopi, and you are welcome to this channel. Now, if you are new on this channel, kindly just subscribe and just smash that notification button so that anytime that you receive the videos, you will be able to be the very first person to receive the videos. Ladies and gentlemen, last time the videos that were spoken about, and it's very, very important that you go back and watch those videos because they are actually the foundation. And it says that one video that I have ever posted, it's saying, things that you need to do so that you will be successful in 2023. Now, what is the meaning of success? Success is fulfillment. That means you have gotten what you wanted, or you have found your passion. So that means if you do not know what you like, or the most thing that you prefer doing, that you do with joy, not talking about having a job that is paying very well. I'm talking about having a fulfilled life. You better go and watch that video. So today we are going in, as we are going to talk about, who you are. Who you are. This is the Identity Podcast, and already if you see in the subscription there or description of the channel, you will be able to see things that we do on this channel. So we are going to talk about who you are. Of course, people have described you in different words. People have spoken about who you are. They have given you a definition of who you are based on what they have seen. But what are you really saying about you? Some people define your identity based off the way you are an orphan. Perhaps you do not have parents, perhaps you only have a single parent, so they gave you that identity that no, this is just an orphan, this person cannot do anything anymore. But what I want to tell you today is that identity is not based on your parents. Identity is not based on your teacher. Identity is not based on your lecturer. Identity has nothing to do with the community, has nothing to do with your country, where you came from, your continent. Identity has to do with you. So number one thing that you need to understand about identity before we go into the gist of what we are about to talk about, something that you need to know about identity is the why. So it's very impossible for you to have a what before your why. So it's very, very important. The why means purpose. What are you here for? What are you doing on earth? It doesn't matter wherever you're watching me from. You're watching from Africa, you're watching from North America, you're watching from South America, you're watching from Asia, wherever you are watching me from. Identity means your why. What is your why in this world? What is your why? Why are you existing? So this is the very first question that you must ask yourself before we just go. So see you, ladies and gentlemen. We see as I come back as we talk about who we are. Welcome back. As I said, my name is Andrew Tapopi, and you are welcome to this channel. If you are new, kindly just subscribe and notify your friend so that you will be able to get this, the whole information, and also give me some comments, some suggestion. What are you thinking about this channel? Now, before we go on, I want you to, write in the comment section there, when we were all young, when we were all children, if we also remember when we perhaps in high school, we told our friends, we told our teachers, when I grow up, I want to become a teacher. Perhaps just say things that you perhaps said to your class, what you said to your people. When I grow up, I want to be. That's interesting, right? So we continue now as we are back. We're talking about who you are. And I said who you are is actually your why. In other words, your purpose. on earth. And understanding purpose is understanding that purpose is not passion. Purpose is to serve others, to give service to others. And passion is a desire for a thing that you have. So we are talking about purpose today over passion. Number one thing that you need to understand before you understand who you are, number one thing is your attitude. The attitude refers to the ability of how you react to things. You see, I want to give you a difference between attitude when it comes to animals like an elephant and a lion. So the moment a lion sees an elephant, what comes in their mind is that I got food today. This is my prey today. This is my food. This is my lunch, man. This is my dinner. So, however, no matter how big an elephant is, whenever they see a lion, they see a predator. That's my killer. He's going to kill me. He's going to eat me. So, attitude. Your attitude defines who you are. Attitudes define who you want to be, how you react based on the things that are happening around you, how you react based on the crisis. And number two, your imagination. Imagination is actually the eyes of your spirit, the eyes of your mind, how you imagine about you becoming something, how you imagine about you. I want to tell you something, that if you imagine of just failing every time, if you imagine of not making it, imagine of people not liking you, that is actually it is. You see, whatsoever a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. Whatever you think about yourself, that you will become. And number three is that, self-worth. Understanding that you are so important in this world, that people cannot live without you, people cannot live without your service. It's a really amazing thing. Self-worth. You are so important that you cannot even, stand unnecessary grounds. You cannot stand places where you are not valued, because you understand your worth. And number four, before we go on, we're talking about self-confidence. The ability to sell yourself, the ability to execute your ideas, the ability to tell people what you have in mind, the ability to expose yourself, to expose your talent, expose your skills out there. Now, without these four things, we talk about attitude, we're talking about self-imagination, we're talking about self-worth, self-confidence, you will never know who you are. There are a lot of people out there who are just saying, no, I'm a shy person, I'm just like this, I'm introvert, I am they talk about themselves and they feel like, this is me. Self-confidence, without it, you will never be able to know exactly who you are. So we are moving into the gist of who really we are. As we are, just give you those, basics, of knowing exactly who you are. And we said that who you are is not the money that you have. Who you are is not the job that you have. In fact, there are a lot of people who are working the offices. They are perhaps, managing directors, they are perhaps, the CEOs of different companies. People are having a lot of money. However, whatever your job is not what you are, unless you are doing the right job of your purpose. Unless you perhaps in the sport department, you are in the engineering department, you are in the nursing, health department, and you are really enjoying it. Perhaps you are a pastor and you are enjoying it. That is actually your purpose. People who cannot wait to see, will not stand, seeing people seated in the lines, in the queues of the hospital, but they have the zeal, actually to help these people. That is your heart. That is actually what purpose is all about. Not getting a lot of money. Of course, it's good to get a lot of money, but it's very critical and dangerous to have a wasted brain. Very critical when you are getting a lot of money and not yet happy about what you are doing. So we are going to move in quickly right away, as we are going to talk about what is really it is to become who you are or who you want to be. Understand this thing. You do not need an extra input when it comes to your purpose, because your purpose is inside you. Your purpose just needs you. I repeat that. The purpose just needs yourself. The purpose does not need your mother, doesn't need your father. Your purpose does not need anybody. It's inside you. God will never give you an assignment without providing. I repeat that. God will never give you an assignment or task to fulfill without providing for you. That means whatever you have, whatever you need is already inside of you. So pay attention on these things quickly as we just want to talk about exactly who we are. Perhaps, of course, the world, especially the Roman Greek, and the Greece community have defined leadership in different ways. People like Adolf Hitler have given a definition that they were given people and they gave them the names of slaves. They are specific people that can only become leaders, and there are people who just need to become our slaves. That's the reason why Adolf Hitler have killed about 60 million of people, because they were just slaves. No matter how well you are dressed with your colorful suit, you are just a well-dressed slave. So this is the kind of a perception that some people still have today, and I want to decolonize that mindset that we have today, because I want to talk more about leadership in general, as we are going to jump in this, and just hold on there as we are jumping in. I will be right back. Yes. Welcome back. As we are talking about now the general, we're talking about the base of, who you are. Number one thing that you need to understand about who you are is that every human being, every person was meant or was created to be a leader. Now, we need to understand about the concept of leadership. What is leadership? Understand that leadership is not standing on the pulpit and talking to people, or standing on the stage and becoming the master of ceremony, and that is how you are given the word leadership. That is not leadership. That is just talking. And leadership is not politics. Perhaps some people are waiting to become presidents, waiting for them to become governors so that they can do what is called leadership. You are to lead whether you are in the office or not. In fact, politics is not leadership. People need to understand it. Leadership is not politics. In fact, we don't need a lot of politicians anymore. We need leaders. We need leadership in a lot of politicians. I repeat again, we don't need a lot of politicians anymore. In fact, we have them a lot. They are enough. Thank you so much. We have a lot of politicians. Now we need leadership in politicians. So there are things that you need to understand. As I said, every person was created to lead. What is leading? The ability to influence in your area of sports, for example. You are a coach, you are a managing, team manager of a specific team. You are a leader. Now, that means you are to lead in that specific area. Perhaps you are the owner of a specific takeaway shop, restaurant. How you lead your people. Don't even underestimate yourself or undermine yourself to say this is not leadership. That is actually leadership, because you are influencing the community. How you influence is how you lead. So that's number one. Every person was created to lead. So the Bible says in the book of Genesis chapter 1, it says, be fruitful and multiply, subdue the earth, take dominion of everything on earth. It says, talks about, the fish in the sea and the fowlers on the earth. That is the ability to take dominion. When you take dominion over something, you take control over it, and that is leadership. So that is number one. And number two, every person has potential to lead. This is actually for the people who think they cannot talk, they cannot speak out their ideas, they cannot stand in public. Every person has potential to lead. The reason why you sometimes want to stand up and talk and you feel like you are ashamed is because the potential is pushing you, and yourself is saying, no, I can't do it. I'm just shy. I'm just too shy. I can't talk. You see? So every person has potential to lead. And number 3, there is self-manifestation about leadership, or there is self-manifestation about your purpose. So, self-manifestation about them. They are just people who have a zeal, a zeal to, just to plant, the zeal to do sports, the zeal to teach. Some people just have a zeal to do mining. Some people just have a zeal. That is a self-manifestation. In fact, as I said already back then, I said, whatever you were imagining from the beginning when you were young, some people were practicing how to inject people. Some people were practicing how to drive trucks. And if you see today, some of the people are still doing what they are doing exactly what they were doing there. So your purpose or who you are has self-manifestation. So don't force things. Don't try to become another person because your friend is studying geology and you also go and do geology. It's not too late that you do whatever you were supposed to do. I know from the beginning, parents, especially in the African community, parents have decided for their children what they have to study. In fact, I want to tell you this, pay attention of this. Your parent, your lecturer, your teacher, your friend, your headmaster, your governor, your counselor, your president, your prime minister, even me, I have nothing to do with your destiny. I have nothing to do with your purpose. In other words, they have no idea about who you are. Some people are given the definition of who they are because of the school, or because of the universities they went to. Just because you got 20% in that test does not mean that you are a failure. And also because, does not mean that because you get 100% in mathematics test does not mean that you are the smartest. Perhaps you are smart, of course, congratulations. However, I do not want you to be undermined. Self-manifestation. In fact, the school is one of the reasons why some people are actually demotivated today. Person failed grade 10, grade 12, they are done. Because you do not know who you are. So this is the reason why I'm telling you, you are there right now watching. You failed grade 10, you failed grade 12, you failed college, you failed university, and you feel like you are useless. I want you to think about this. Self-manifestation. What is that thing that you really like? What do you like? Perhaps you like cutting hair. Perhaps you like dressing hair. You like hairdressing. You just enjoy it. Perhaps you like sports, athletics. You see people like Usain Bolt. They are in the Olympics. They actually, succeeded their life through sports. You want to be like a Cristiano Ronaldo. You want to be the Lionel Messi, the Mbappe that we see young people yet making it because they followed their passion. They followed their purpose because there was self-manifestation there. And every person watching this video has self-manifestation in them. It's just something that you like, unless you are not a human being. Okay, so there is self-manifestation about your gift. There is self-manifestation about your purpose. And the last one is to say that person or a leader themselves, for you to understand who you are, you do not need followers. You don't need 1 million followers on Twitter, on Facebook, or Instagram for you to know who exactly you are. In fact, we don't focus on actually having a lot of followers. We focus on working on ourselves, and the people will just start following. Have you never seen on your Instagram page whereby, on the Instagram platform, whereby a person is just followed by a lot of people because of the way they make comedies? Comedians have a lot of followers because they have pursued their purpose. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to appreciate you. I know we have a lot of things to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. I want you to comment on these sections because this is our channel. As I said, this is the Identity Podcast, and this is where you view your ideas. You actually give, you air your ideas. You are most welcome. For me, Andrew Tapopi, thank you so much for having me in this platform. We have spoken about who you are. The next video will talk about the things, the most doable things before you reach 30. In other words, if you're between the age of 20 to 30, this is a must be a must powerful video that you don't want to miss. For me, Andrew Tapopi, I just want to wish you a very blessed day, man. And so that you are going to analyze exactly what you like. What you like is what will bring money into your account. What you like the most is what will bring joy into your heart. What you like the most is what will bring followers into actually your platform. There are some people without followers, but yet they are influencing the community. That is purpose. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, God bless you and peace.